What is up, ninjas? Everyone's heard about Instagram influencers, but if you want to know exactly how I made $30,000 in just 1 week only using Instagram influencers to advertise for my Shopify store, then stay tuned because we're gonna reveal some crazy stuff about how to find the best influencers in the world, how to negotiate their prices to rock bottom, and a secret that I personally use that's gonna completely change the Instagram influencer game. So don't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I think I got one.
What is up, ninjas? Today we're going to talk about how I use Instagram influencer marketing alone with no Facebook, no Google, no other type of advertising to make over $30,000 in just 1 week. And this video is going to be completely full of hacks, right? There's not going to be any fluff like all the other Instagram influencer videos that I've seen out there. We're going to talk about real, implementable, actionable strategies that you can use today to find Instagram influencers in your own niche. So make sure you don't go anywhere because we're going to be dropping absolute bombs throughout this whole video. But before we get into actionable steps that we can actually use right now to find Instagram influencers that are going to be super profitable, let's take a quick step back and discuss what Instagram influencer marketing actually is, because there's probably some people out there who are wondering, you know, what the heck is Instagram influencer marketing? I always keep hearing about it, but I want to know what it is. So basically what it is, guys, is you're utilizing people's already existing following. So let's say that I'm selling Pitbull socks, for example, and we can use that example for the rest of the video. So if I'm selling Pitbull socks, right, for the dog, the Pitbull, then I want to go out there and I want to find Instagrammers who have already built up big followings of people who like pit bulls, right? So if I made a page and all I'm doing is posting, you know, cute little pictures of pit bull puppies, for example, people out there in the world are going to be searching Instagram for pit bull. They're going to find that page, and that page is going to build up a following. So sometimes these people, and I know it sounds crazy, but these people have Instagrams that have 100,000 or 200,000 or 1 million followers, and all they do is post pictures of pit bull puppies and pit bull related stuff. And so when, you know, let's say that you're selling pit bull socks, for example, then you already know that 100,000 or million people are interested in pit bulls. And so it's a very targeted audience who is much more likely than a cold audience to buy your pit bull related products. And so that's kind of the point of Instagram influencer marketing. It's finding people who already have pre-existing followings and then kind of utilizing that extremely targeted following to then sell them a product that is ultra related to what they've already shown they're interested in. As we can see from this chart right here, guys, about 2/3 of all shoutouts are between $0 and $250, and pretty much every shoutout that I've ever done has actually fallen into that range. I've done a couple expensive ones, and if you know what you're doing and you're kind of more well versed in this, then more expensive can be extremely profitable also. But for most of the people watching and for most beginners into Instagram influencer marketing, it's going to be between $0 and $250. Generally, I've found, you know, it's between $20 and $150 is kind of the sweet spot for choosing the influencers that you want, because a lot of people think that all influencers are created equal, but they are absolutely not. It's all about the engagement rate and having that engagement rate be actual real people and not robots and engagement groups. And we're going to talk about all of that very, very in depth. But before we do, guys, if you want to learn how I use Instagram influencers, like in my own business, how we generated, you know, over $1,000 our first ever day, then do me a favor and comment down below. And if you're a follower and you've been watching all of my recent videos, I've been asking people to comment a lot, but I've been making all the videos. The reason I do this, guys, is because I want to actually put the videos out that you want to see. So if you want to see how I made $1,000 on my very first time ever using Instagram influencers profit, $1,000 profit, then comment Instagram influencers as a comment on this video, and I will make that video for you guys next. Let's jump in and see what we actually want from an Instagram influencer. So if we go to Instagram right here, we're going to type in millionaire, and we're going to just choose one of these, millionaire.dream. So we see that they have 419,000 followers. Generally, you know, that's pretty good. I like to look for, you know, anywhere between 50,000 and 300,000. Sometimes I found, and this isn't a steadfast rule, but sometimes I found, you know, people with over 300,000 followers tend to want more for a shout out than they necessarily deserve. But I've generally found that people under 300,000 are a little bit more fair with their pricing. But again, you'll never know unless you reach out for these people. And it says right here, right? Email us for promos, ads at cleverpreneur.com. So again, we'll talk about how to contact and how to price and negotiate these things later on in the video. But again, it's very easy if you want to contact these people for a shout out. Most of them list email us for promos right here. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take their username right here. Or again right here, and we're going to head over to a website called Influencer Marketing Hub. And what this site is it has a lot of things that you can use for Instagram, but what I use it for is at the bottom here called Instagram Calculator. So when we click Instagram Calculator, what we're going to see here is the average engagement rate on Instagram and Twitter in 2017. So we see that, what we're looking for, above 10,000, but generally above 100,000 is about 2.4%. Engagement, and they calculate engagement rate based on comments and likes per picture. So if I have 100,000 followers and 1,000 of them comment on my post, then that would mean I had a 1% engagement rate, right? And comments and likes are factored in, but these are general rules of thumb. If they have over 100,000, then the average is 1.7. So you want to see these type of numbers or higher for these things. And that's a good initial gauge to know whether or not these are real, they have real followers and they're not just followed by bots. Because if you're not familiar with Instagram, there's a lot of bots, which means they aren't real followers, but it looks like they have a lot of followers, but they don't have real people followers. And then you're paying to show your products to robots, and robots are never going to buy your stuff, right? And the same problem happens with what's called engagement groups. But I'll show you some fun little tricks and hacks to make sure that you're not, paying to put your product in front of robots, and to make sure that you're actually putting your product in front of real people. So we're going to come down here to the Instagram influencer earnings calculator, and we're going to type in millionaire.dream, the one that we copy and pasted from right here in the title, in the URL, or right here. And we're going to go to search. And what we're going to see here is they're going to do the calculation for us right here for the engagement rate. So we see that their engagement rate is 1.02, and if we compare that with 100,000 followers plus on Instagram, they actually have lower than average engagement. Right? And so what that kind of means, and we can take a closer little look, but just, on a very basic level, what that means is that they have lower than average engagement for their particular follower count. So what we see here is, 2,800 likes with only 15 comments, right? 15 comments for a 419,000 followers. 20 comments, 10 comments, right? So these aren't particularly impressive numbers. And if we actually look inside here, let's take a look at the comments. Nice Instagram, superb pics, right? Like this comment if you have no fear. This is totally true, right? These are all so true. Like this. This is a perfect example of most likely bot content. This is all very generic, short things, right? Nice Instagram that could literally be about anything. So these are literally robots. These are programs that somebody created to go out and comment on these posts to make it appear like this Instagram is actually getting more action. That's dope, right? These are all just thumbs up. These are all very, very generic, and so this is a very good example and a red flag of a particular post that has pretty much entirely bot content. And so this would be absolutely not be one of the Instagram influencers that I would want to reach out to actually promote my stuff. And one little other trick that I like to look at is you can look at the followers here, and you like to see that 99% of these little pictures right here actually have a profile picture, because most people who use Instagram who are real people have like a profile picture of themselves, of their family. Sometimes people have like pictures of like the beach or whatever, but for the most part, it's pictures of themselves. And we see, there's like a soccer ball here. This is obviously a company. Power Storm. This is obviously looks like a company. The Joker. Again, most of these people, like even like 30% of just these first ones we're seeing don't look like they're actually real Instagrams. Inspiration for you. These kind of look like business accounts or promo accounts, that we wouldn't necessarily want to actually promote a product to, just because they don't seem like they're actually real people's Instagrams. And so this is a very good example, actually, and just kind of randomly happened to be so, of an Instagram influencer that we would definitely avoid, because they have, mostly bot content. They have bot-related likes. They have bot-related very generic comments, and many of their followers, even in the first 20 that we looked at, don't seem like real human accounts. And so let's take another example. It is your boy at officialkevindavid.com is my Instagram. If you want to follow it, we'd love to have you, because we are posting a bunch of fun content all the time. And so let's actually plug in my Instagram here instead. And so we saw that theirs was about 1% engagement. And your boy does not have 1% engagement, I hope. Yeah, so we see, over 16% engagement rate, over 16% higher than what they were, 16 times higher than what they were looking at. And if we look at, my comments and things like that, 33 comments, I think this was just posted, 60 comments, 1.4 million views, 47 comments, 61, 47, 94, 465 comments. you can just kind of tell that there's a lot more people that are interacting, right? 906 comments than the previous page that we looked at. So this is definitely, obviously I'm not going to do shout outs for products, but if you found an influencer product, let's say that you were like selling wooden sunglasses and you found like an influencer that takes pictures of like beautiful islands, or a travel Instagram that you could do an ad campaign for, you'd want to look for similar types of numbers. 16% is very, very good. So I wouldn't say that that's just generally what you're looking for, but anything over like 2%, right? Especially if you're getting over 100,000 followers, because I only have like 35,000 followers, and so once you get over 100,000, it's unrealistic to expect a 16% engagement rate unless it's like a celebrity account, for example, like Kylie Jenner and things like that. So, but these are kind of the numbers that you're looking for. Anything above a 2 to 5% engagement rate for an account that has over 100,000 is extremely good. And what you want to do is make sure that they have real followers by checking out the profile pictures, and you want to make sure that the comments aren't just like totally generic things like nice Instagram and like thumbs up, like great post, awesome pics. Like those are obviously robot responses. They're not real people. Let's talk about the important part. How do you actually find influencers for your particular niche or brand? So I'm going to use a pit bull as an example, just because we've sold dog products in the past, specifically pit bull products, just because they have a huge, very passionate fan base. So we're going to go to actual Instagram themselves. We're going to type in hashtag pitbull, and we see there's 19 million posts related to Pitbull, right? And some of these could be the artist Pitbull, but we see Pitbull of Instagram, over 1 million posts for Pitbull Puppy, Pitbull Graham, right? So we can pretty much assume that Pitbull Official, Pitbull Graham, Pitbull Puppy, Pitbulls of Instagram are probably all their own Instagrams here. So let's take a look at the first one. So we see 16,000 likes, huge amount of likes there. So we definitely want to open that one up, see what's going on with that. I like to actually just go on the overarching one though. So we'll go to Pitbull, and then we'll look at the 19 million posts. And how Instagram's kind of organized here is it organizes the top 9 posts, the 3x3, as the top posts. And the top posts are chosen by a variety of things. Acceleration, how many likes a new post gets, how fast, how many high quality likes that post gets. So like if I get, if Selena Gomez liked my picture and she has, 70 million followers or whatever it is, then obviously my picture would go immediately to the explore page, because the strength of the like and the velocity of likes and comments for a new post is what determines what gets on the explore post. And there's ways to manipulate getting onto the explore post by kind of using less competitive hashtags and getting onto the explore post for those less competitive hashtags, and that starts to build up to get you onto the explore post of the more competitive hashtags. But that could be another video. Again, if you guys want me to make more videos on Instagram, type the comment down below that says Instagram influencer, just the 2 words Instagram influencer, as a comment on this video, and I can make a complete all-inclusive Instagram video, how I was able to grow my account from 5,000 followers to 35,000 followers literally in just 1 month. And those are real people, not bots, not engagement groups, not any of that BS. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of these 2 comments. 1. So we see a lot of different accounts here. Let's see what happens when we just type in Pitbull and see if we can find some actual accounts here. So we see Pitbull Universe, so 303,000 followers. Another good way to do it, is just exactly how I just did. Pitbull fans, 754,000. And so these would both be, good kind of people to go after and see if they would be available for business shoutouts. Literally, they say DM for business shoutouts, best price available. Like, could that be, easier? So all you have to do is shoot them. DM stands for direct message for those of you who don't know. So once you find kind of a good one like these 2, right? There's a fun little trick that I like to use, and all it is very simple. Is this little arrow right here? It will actually show suggestions, and so these are other popular Pitbull pages. So if you find one good kind of influencer, let Instagram do the hard work for you, right? And find these other accounts: 203,000 followers, 18,000 followers, 272,000 followers, 13,000 followers. 313,000 followers. So all different types of kind of sizes, and this gives you a good range, because how hard is it to send a single message, right? A direct message or an email to these people saying, hey, I'm interested in doing like a promotional shout out on your page. Could you give me, your prices for a 12-hour shout out. And we're going to talk about, the length of shout out, the time of shout out, because all of these things matter, guys. Every single one of these things makes a huge difference, and doing it right the first time, you're going to see a huge dividend and a huge payoff and a huge amount of profit from doing Instagram influencer marketing right. But that is a great way to find Instagram influencers. All you have to do is find one influencer just by typing in the hashtag, right? Pitbull, looking for one account. We found one account here, click this little button, and now we see a bunch of suggestions. So I would message every single one of these guys and say, what are your prices for, doing a promotional shout out for 12 hours. I generally like to run my shout outs from 9 a.m. Pacific time to 9 p.m. Pacific time. If you do 24 hours, the relevancy on Instagram starts to degrade. And so I found that the biggest bang for your buck is paying for a 12-hour shout out from 9 a.m. PST to 9 p.m. PST. And, there are a few other secrets like doing, promotional shout outs with images and videos and, story posts, and there's one of those three that is, absolutely the best option of the three. But again, if you guys want to learn more, and I can do an all-inclusive Instagram video, comment Instagram influencer down below. Give a like on the video if you guys have learned something. I'm trying to put out as much free content as I possibly can for you guys because I love you. And so that's how you kind of use Instagram itself to take a look at how to find Instagram influencers for any particular topic. So another cool way that I like to do it is using a little search hack on Google. And you can do this for anything, right? If you want to search a specific website for something, right, you could do Facebook, you could do Amazon, it doesn't matter what it is. All you type into Google is site, and then the website itself. And then we're going to go space here and we're going to type Pitbull. And now Google is going to do the work for us. And so this is Pitbull, the actual artist, the musician, if you can call him a musician. No offense if you like him. But we see Pitbull here, Mr. Worldwide Pitbull, Pitbulls of Instagram, Pitbull 5%. We see 36,000 followers, the most bad ones. Pitbull puppies online. So we see, Google is showing us 1.6 million followers. So this is kind of the big guy, right? That it seems like to me, $30,000 donated. Here we see their Gmail address. So if we wanted to message them asking for a particular shout out or something like that, this is how we would do it. And again, great way to do it. Click this little thing right here, the little arrow. It's going to show you suggestions. And I would, again, look at every single one of these. And it gives you literally this carousel that goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So 202,000 followers, 67,000, 40,000, 18,000, 1.6 million. So all of these different kind of options here, we can calculate their engagements. We can look to see if they're getting real comments, not from bots or engagement groups. We can see if they're followed by real people. And all of this kind of plays in to choosing the correct Instagram influencer that's going to give you the most possible profit. And so the last way that I like to use, and I generally don't suggest paying for Instagram influencer search engines, but Deep Social does have a free trial. I think they'll give you 3 free searches. And so it says, and we just signed up for Deep Social, and you don't have to pay or anything like that. I think I just signed in with Facebook or something. And so what we're going to do is we're going to type in Pitbull here. And let's see what they actually give us back here. And so we see that, they're going to give us some of the things that we just looked at. And again, they're telling us to upgrade the plan, but this is a good way to kind of get started when you're not 100% sure kind of, what to do and how to get started, even though I just showed you, some great methods to do that. But we can take a look at these ones right here. Just straight from this website. We see some quality, right? 73,000, which is pretty good. We see 273,000, 4,000 is probably a little bit too small. But again, so free, it showed us, it got us started, and then we can use Instagram itself by looking at the related posts to find a ton more. So that is exactly how you find Instagram influencers. And so that, guys, is everything that you need from a Pitbull perspective, but more importantly, from an Instagram perspective for influencers, how to contact and find the best influencers, right? A bunch of tips and secrets and strategies that I use to find, very high quality Instagram influencers, how to make sure that they have real engagement, how to make sure that their engagement is above average, how to make sure that they're not just followed by a bunch of bots and engagement groups, and how to actually go about contacting them, guys. It's not as hard as it looks. If they they don't have any information here, shoot them a direct message. But a lot of times, they'll literally tell you, DM for business shout outs, best price available, or they'll literally have, their contact information right here, guys. And when you contact someone, you can open it up to whatever pricing you want. If they have under 300,000 followers, I generally start with an offer of $20, and they'll counter and they'll tell you, we normally do $50 or $100, and then you can ask, if you want to be especially kind of detailed, you can ask for engagement details. If they have a business account, they can show you kind of their analytics where it says, okay, our audience is 35% female, 65% male, 37% from the USA, and then you can take a deeper dive into that information and decide for yourself whether or not you think that is useful. And again, I can go super in depth on this, guys. Just comment Instagram influencers down in the comments, and I will make an all-inclusive Instagram video. But that is pretty much everything you need to get started using Instagram influencers today for your Shopify dropshipping business, guys. And before we go, I just wanted to give a shout out to our daily $100 winner, where we're sending $100 straight to your PayPal every single day, just to give back to you guys for being such awesome fans. We literally just passed the 100,000 subscriber mark for the very first time, guys. It was a huge moment for me. I can't wait to show you guys the little YouTube plaque. Once they send it to my house, I'm going to literally make such an excessive video, because it was a seriously meaningful moment to me. It means so much that 100,000 people out there in the world want to hear what I have to say. It's so meaningful, guys. And if you want to enter the $100 giveaway, all you have to do is click the little subscribe button, click the little notification bells, leave your best comment, and we're going to choose one of you, and we're going to send $100 straight to your PayPal. Oh, and did I mention you also immediately enter to win our $1,000 weekly giveaway, where we're going to give away a brand spanking new copy of the Shopify Ninja Masterclass, where we go A to Z on everything from starting from zero to a successful Shopify empire, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.